Hello everyone, I'm your host Ridima Wali and I welcome you all to my show, the Ridima Wali Show, a platform created for each one of you to ask questions, queries, post in your dilemmas and really get started on your journey of finding what's your aspiration and true purpose. And you know what will make us really happy is if you post as many questions and queries and really grill our guests, because the guests who we call on the platform are experts in what they do. And if you get some clues on how to get started in your life, that will be like fulfilling our purpose. Talking about purpose, you know, when I was a kid, my mother used to tell me that the secret to happiness is getting success, scoring really good marks, getting luxury vacation and getting a well-paying job. To the extent, हद तो उन्होंने तब पार कर दी when she told me in 10th standard कि सनी बेटा अगर तुमने पढ़ाई नहीं की ना तो तुम ट्रक ड्राइवर बनोगी. I mean, talk about exaggeration, guys. But all these triggers she fed in my head that good education, well-paying job leads to a good life and a happiness-filled life. It really led me to work very hard. I completed my graduation, biotechnology, followed it up with an MBA, got a really good job, traveled abroad. But despite the promotions and appreciation that I was getting for my work, I suddenly felt void. And this void was like, you know what, Ridima, you're not enjoying yourself. What is it that you're supposed to do? Which led me to switch to the profession of anchoring and leadership development. Cutting the long story short, this is the story of each one of us. We think that happiness is rooted in money, in really fancy jobs, dining in high-end restaurants, wearing the best brands, and yet we feel that something is missing in life. And this gnawing restlessness creates a sort of noise within us. This noise is a small voice which is humming in the darkest corner and saying, you are not meant to do this. And what do we do about this growing voice within it? We ignore it. We ignore it in the rigmarole of meeting that deadline, being on that con call, which can happen even without your presence. So what you're going to get from the episode 3 of the Ridima Wali Show is layer by layer listening to that inner voice and getting started on your journey of finding out your true calling, your purpose for which you exist on this planet. And to help us, guide us through this path of self-discovery, we have with us a very lovely Sharpa, as I call her. She is the best-selling author of over 10 books. I'm not exaggerating, 10 books. Each of them have been best-selling. She is the recipient of over 13 international awards and 10 awards at national level. And she is a renowned motivational speaker, and it's truly a privilege for me to have her on our show. Please welcome Priya Kumar. Hi Priya.
Hi.
Welcome to our show. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. It really means a lot.
Oh, it means a lot to me, and you speak so well, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
I mean,
you.
while you were talking, I was your audience as well. Very, very nice.
Thank you so much, Priya. And before we start this conversation, Priya, just a request to all the viewers who are watching us live to post your question. Please like, subscribe and share the video and ask as many questions as possible, because you know what? The Ridima Wali Show is for you. Coming to you, Priya. Priya, I was going through your intro and the voluminous work that you've done. And you started out as a French tuition teacher.
Yeah.
You've learned German also.
Yeah.
You've been a rank holder all your life.
Yes.
And then you went on to become the youngest motivational speaker. She became a motivational speaker at an age of 24. So what led you to discover this inner calling of yours?
Well, you know, the inner calling is a very fancy word that we coin, and
It sure is.
people look for it. But it was a progression. I feel that, you know, we all have something unique and special in us, and we have to keep following that. Don't judge where will this take me. Don't evaluate in terms of money, that how much money will I get, how much time am I putting in. Just follow that path. As long as you're growing, as long as it is making you feel happy, as long as the reach and contribution of your work is helping people, you're on the right path. If your work or whatever it is that you're doing is only serving you, then there could be a problem. So as a teacher, I started very early. I started teaching at the age of 13, and I saw that the impact of my presence, it wasn't just the teaching. See, there are several teachers, but a 13-year-old to become a teacher, now that's special.
That
you know, so I'm a student and also a teacher. So that got a lot of attention, and I saw that my friends, at that time I was teaching my friends, it wasn't just helping them in studies, it was also helping them have a vision, it was helping them also reach further beyond themselves. And that, I think, if your work can do far greater service than just earning money, it's a hint that you are kind of on your purpose. And then motivational speaking was largely an extension of that, because you see, as a teacher, I was not just speaking to students on the subject, I was also helping them in other issues. You know, so it's not just kitab kholo padhai karo. It's like, what's wrong? You know, why are you upset? Oh, so you're having problems with your girlfriend, you're having problems at school, you know, you're getting bullied. And in trying to help them, I realized I was able to solve problems of others, and therefore my problems disappeared. You know, when you start giving solutions to others, you're technically getting solutions for yourself. So I had already started on that journey from the age of 13 in trying to go beyond my job. So my job was not just did not just end that abhi lesson ho gaya, now go home. It went beyond that. And you know, where the job ends and what you do beyond that, that will serve you at the next level. That is actually preparing you for the next game and the next level. And that's where I found the motivational speaker, a speaker who could solve problems. What is a motivational speaker actually? It's a person who solves problems. It's a person who gives you ideas, who inspires you enough to look for solutions. And that's what I did as a teacher, and then I took it up professionally. It was more interesting, you know, to solve problems, not just to teach out of a book, a format that is set, but also to take people on a life journey where they can be happier, where they can be more contributing and become better than themselves. So that is how it started. And mind you, I have no formal education in being a motivational speaker, except that I have been a solver all my life.
I really like what you said. You said when you start working beyond what is expected from you, it prepares you for the next level. So I want to ask you, you know, when you started out motivational speaking, you were only 24. Were there problems that you faced to get meaningful work? Because considering in India, people judge you by your age. They have this notion, you're 24, you've not experienced life enough. What is it that you're going to give to others? Did you face any kind of such problems?
Fortunately not. See, there is great advantage in starting early. I started working early at the age of 13. So technically I had over 10 years experience, you know, a decade of experience, which counts for something. And I taught over 1900 students. Now it was not just the students I was interacting with, it was also the parents. So now 1900 plus add 2 more, that's okay, the math is a little tricky. 6,000 people I had interacted with in 9 odd years. Now that is huge, you know. So I knew not just the problems of the students, but I also had the parents' perspective, you know. So I had a 360-degree expanse of my work. And you know, when you're young, and I tell people, just start working young, I mean, doesn't matter what job you do, because you look at it as a spirit of adventure. And you know, when you're young, nobody's expecting anything from you. In fact, they expect कि ये तो mistake करेंगे, ये तो ऐसे ही छोड़ देंगे, ये सब अभी शौक है, and so on. And when there are no expectations from you, that's when the fun starts. You know, so I didn't face a lot of challenges. In fact, it was amusing for people. Oh yeah, you're going to be a motivational speaker. What are you going to tell us? Let's hear it. You know, so youth also garners support. People are like, even my team, you know, they are so young. I have a writer who's 21 years old, and it just amuses me all the time. अब ये क्या लिखेंगे? You know, so I think youth attracts support if they have the right spirit. So I was supported all the way through, and I feel that people who are having challenges somewhere are not convinced themselves that they are great for the job, and therefore they're not able to convince others. I feel people saw my confidence, and where did my confidence come from? From the interaction of my students. Now take out those 9 years of tuitions, okay, take out those 9 years, and I would be very insecure. I would be thinking, ye chal nahi raha hai, ho nahi raha hai, shall I do something else? But I knew what it takes to establish something, to take it to success, to go through the hardship, to go through the hard work, and that is what set me for the next level, which was motivational speaker.
So what I captured from this bit is that 9 years was like the preparatory phase,
Yes.
which got you ready for the
Yes.
next phase. Priya, before we move on to the next section, I would want to make an appeal to all the viewers who are watching us live to please post as many questions as possible, because in the next 5 minutes, we'll be taking questions, your queries on the show, and Priya will be giving her perspectives. Priya, back to you. I had this genuine curiosity because as I was going through your story, I was sort of resonating it with mine. And one thing that we are fed since childhood, that good education, working hard is equal to happiness in the later stage of life. My question to you is, did your pursuit of your ambition and pursuing excellence, did it in some way come in the way of unraveling your calling? Because you're sort of too focused that I have to achieve this needs to happen next. Did it ever come in the way?
You mean achievement coming in the
Yeah,
way
this
of
pursuit of excellence, that when there is too much ambition, you're so rooted in it that you sort of ignore this inner voice. Did it happen in your case?
Oh, I get it. So, to go step by step answering, I think good education and hard work is the foundation.
It is.
But people sometimes feel education is only restricted to college and school and textbooks. But
Big way.
yes. Now that is limiting. That's a mistake. Education is beyond that as well. I mean, even sitting here is an education in itself. So being a learner, being a student of life, I think is a criteria. It's not that I finished school and college, so khatam ho gaya. Now actually the game has started. So, and I have always been ambitious. I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
Even I will compete even in a game that I don't know. But it's just the spirit that let me see how far I can go. See, competition means I want to put myself on the spot to see, can I learn quickly, can I execute, and can I deliver in record time. So I have always been a go-getter. I've always been an achiever. At least the attempt is there. I fail sometimes, but even that failure goes far beyond what I had expected. And you see, if that journey is in alignment of what you want, then there is true happiness. I mean, it's not that I'm ambitious because somebody else has told me you do this. No. If I want to do it, I will go and reach the heights of that, even if nobody believes in it. So when I started out as a motivational speaker, I was written off, saying, ये सब शौक है, 1-2 साल में खत्म हो जाएगा. एक बार शादी हो जाएगी तो फिर तो खत्म ही हो जाएगा.
That's another very limiting belief.
Yeah. ठीक है, अभी शादी से पहले 2 साल कर लो तुम, उसके बाद तो फिर it's been 23 years, it's still going on. So you pick up that thing that you love to do. Educate in it, get all skill sets needed in it, and then do the hustle and move fast in that direction. Does it take focus? Yes, absolutely. See, without focus, it's not possible. But focus means prioritizing. It doesn't mean sacrifice. So as much as I like to do other things which are beyond my work, I prioritize, limit my time there. And ultimately, once you get to the destination, you get everything that you put on hold multifold. And then you have choices saying, but really, I'm not interested. Yeah, so I feel that if that drive, that passion, that spirit of achievement is aligned with what you really want to do, it will all be worth it. And if you have that feeling that, oh, I am making the money, I am getting places, I have the dream job, but you're not happy, then it means you're perhaps on the wrong ladder, or you're chasing the wrong goals, or you somewhere did not listen to what you really wanted to do. But the good news is that if following somebody else's ladder, you could get this high up, then imagine how high you can go if you following your own.
This is an interesting part you said, Priya. I think a lot of times people have this built-up frustration about their jobs, about their circumstances, because they think they're sacrificing a lot for the job, for the work. So my question to you is, in the pursuit of discovering your calling, and let's say after discovering, you sort of go on the path of your calling, will it call for sacrifice? So when we say sacrifice, what does it really mean? Because I think majority of the frustration emanates from the fact that people say, I'm not spending enough time with my children, I have a good job but it requires me to travel, my clients suck, so they're all cribbing and not living.
Yeah.
What's your view on that?
Well, I honestly don't believe in sacrifices, you know, because sacrifice, whatever level, it still will bring regret and blame. You know, let's say you're sacrificing family time, then you'll blame them, oh, because of you now I can't do this, and it doesn't go in a pleasant situation. But to give you an example, this is before I became a motivational speaker. I was done with teaching. I was teaching French and a lot of subjects, and while my students were flying, I was still there teaching the same books. So I said, "Abhi ho gaya."
Interesting aspect.
So then I said no. Now I went and applied for a job, okay, and they hired me on the spot. So see, I was well read, I spoke well, I had confidence because I was speaking to a large group of students. Then they said, okay, can you report tomorrow? I said, what time? He says 9 o'clock. I said 9 o'clock tomorrow, and then day after he says 9 o'clock. So I said, what? It's going to be 9 o'clock every day, and I live in Andheri, I still do. And I said, Andheri to South Bombay every morning 9. I was happy when I left school and college ke ek wo routine khatam hua subah ka. So I said, I'm not doing this, boss, you know. So then they called me back and they raised my salary. But I just did not want to do something where I have to be regimented. Now I'm like that, you know, I'm this wild horse. You can't put discipline on me. So I said, ye mujhe nahi karna hai. So that I was very clear about. See, everybody was doing that. So while I would tell somebody, are you crazy? Going every morning at 9. So they'd say, are you crazy? So under sometimes peer pressure, we let go of our beliefs. We let go of what makes us comfortable. We let go of what I really want to do. That while it's okay with somebody else, it's not okay with me. So I said, no, I do my own venture. So I decide what time I want to work, and that's when I established my career as a motivational speaker. So I work 2 hours. You know, so I go for a workshop, I speak for 2 hours, I'm free for the day. So I have a lot of liberty. Now, in terms of sacrifices and so on, let me tell you, my dogs come to work. My family comes to work. On all my travels, I take my mother along, so you will see pictures of my mom also. So where is the sacrifice? I feel if you're following your passion, if you're following your calling, it synergizes people, it invites people, it brings people to you. It's not a cut-off that you go away and you leave me alone. I think that then in somewhere, you know, or in some way is not the right path, which you will find out later. Then you'll sit and say, oh, I didn't do this and I didn't do that, and now it's too late. So a calling, a purpose essentially brings forward synergies. It brings families together. It brings nations together. It brings humanity together. That, I think, is the yardstick.
All right. So till the time we wait for the viewers to post their questions, let's get started on questions that people have. So I see these well-paid, high-class executives who are drawing good money, but at the end of the day, they have things like hyperacidity, cardiac problems. So I really want to ask you, when does the journey of finding your inner calling begin? Because, you know, when I used to interact with my friends, they're like, we are too young to even figure out what you want to do in life. You need to do the 9 to 5 job to get experience, because experience is the thing. Or bhai stability chahiye life mein. And we don't even realize when do we get stuck in that rut of stability routine. So wo inner calling ki journey kab begin hoti hai, Priya?
I think it starts very young. The symptoms, the signs, everything is there, I think from the age of 6 or so. You can tell it in a child where their interest is, you know, and you will see, I mean, don't go by what I'm saying, but you will see that every legendary person, people that you admire, they started young. They started between the age of 3 and 6, and they understand what it takes to work. They understand the hustle. They understand the importance of choices, priorities. They understand discipline, you know, and if you bring in that, see, as a child, what will you do? Something that you really want to do, correct? Look at any child artist, they love it, that's why they're doing it. And that's when they understand very early that something that you love can be converted into a legacy, can be converted into an empire. It is when we grow older, the confusion continues.
Yeah,
you know, because
majorly.
then they will do what others are doing. अच्छा आप ये कर रही हैं, अच्छा पैसा मिलता है, oh great life, let me also become an anchor and let me become a speaker. It's not so easy. Like I tell you, I have so many friends who are CEOs, managing directors, you know, and some old enough nearing retirement, and they say, Priya, when I retire, I want to be a motivational speaker.
I know, and people tell me when I tell them I'm also coach, they are like, that's a retirement option.
Yeah.
We're leaving our job, we'll become coach. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's so cool because I am already doing their dream job.
Yeah.
You know, so it's when people are not listening to themselves, and also parents must be very encouraging to see what are the signs the children are showing, which direction should they be pushed into. So, and starting young is the key.
so one aspect is that starting young is the key. But you know, many of us who are, like I said, well-paying job, middle managerial level, and they grapple with this question. So, and they get confused that भाई मैं अभी तक तो सक्सेसफुल था, अब अगर मैं सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुआ, then what?
हाँ.
So how should you tackle with that midlife crisis?
See, that's the thing, because see, when you're young, no, like I said, there are no expectations. अभी तो कमाया भी नहीं है, तो आपको पता भी नहीं कितना कमा सकते हैं. So that fear of losing is not there because you're not earning.
Yeah.
Now when you're earning a certain standard and you feel I will make a move and let's say become a singer or an entrepreneur, then you're looking, I might just lose all of this, and now there are expenses.
There's a lot at stake.
Yeah, they have EMIs going, they have to give certain money at home, etc. So that insecurity then interferes with their calling, and that is dangerous. It kills people's dreams, it kills people's aspirations, that now the frustration grows even more when now he knows what he wants to do, but he's insecure, how will he survive?
It's like he's gripped by some self-limiting belief which is not letting
It's
him act.
very sorry where he says, I want to do this, and there's a very big but. You know, so it's letting go of that insecurity and saying, chalo, 2 saal I will have to suffer, 2 years I will have to suffer. If you are willing to take that on, then the 3rd year onward, you have freedom, you have everything that you want.
Priya, you know what, this really pushes me to talk to you about this line which I read, where the person is saying that I believe in macro patience and micro speed. And the person says that you know, many times we are thinking about what I will do 5 years down the line, but we're watching Netflix, we're whiling away time. He said, don't think about 5 years, just plan what are you going to do for the next 3 days. And I found it very powerful, and I think what you said, that you know, you got to think about 2 years rather than thinking about the 3rd year, 4th year that can put you out of action. Priya, we have a question which I want to take. So the question is for Priya. Thank you for specifying that. I was not answering anyways. Can we also get the name of the person who's asked that question? The question is, we think to do, but we are not able to execute. How to balance? And this question is asked by Shashank.
Okay, I like it. You know, see, thinking doesn't come at a cost. You know, we can think anything, you know, I want to make a film and so on, but to execute now requires a certain skill set. It requires time, it requires collaboration, sometimes it also requires investment. So one has to work the execution plan. It's great to have an idea, it's great to have a dream, but it has to be supported by a concrete plan. And to do that, sometimes we are overwhelmed. Okay, I don't even know how to make a plan, I don't even know what to do. And in that case, getting a coach, getting an expert is a great idea who can guide you. See, if you have thought it, no, then you're in trouble, because एक बार आपने वो बना लिया ना मन में, now that will eat you up. It's not what your mother will say you're not doing anything, or your wife will say what are you doing. It's what you have thought and you're not doing.
It bugs you every day.
That is the greatest frustration, and then we try to drown that. Acha bhi chodo, leave it, now I'll do something else. And that's what pents up and gnaws at a person, because your inner voice has already knocked and said, talk, talk, you should do this. But get help from people. I mean, why do you feel that I can't do it? So what if you can't? You can be taught to. You didn't know how to read one time, you went to school, you got a teacher. So invest in life coaches, invest in books, invest in mentors, and get going. You will find the balance.
All right. Which is interesting, because you know, one of my acquaintance, he's by the name Himanshu Saxena, he said 2 things change the course of your life: the books you read and the people you meet.
Absolutely.
So I think
absolutely.
We have another question. This question is from Lavneet Lambha, and her question is, what does one do when people judge your work?
So the question is for you, is it?
I think the question is for you, but she's being nice and she's written, oh, for me. Thank you for showing that.
What do people do? What do I do when people judge your work?
I think what has really worked in my favor is not to take the appreciation you get seriously, because A, that will get you hooked on to the crutches. You will always think that because you've got success in the past, this is the thing you need to do. So if you remember, Lavneet, we worked together and I left the job and I got that promotion because I knew if I stay there, I'm going to be used to that comfort zone. And B, when you're starting new, you have to take a lot of feedback from people, because you know what, you're going to suck at the work you do, and just be open to it, and whatever people say in terms of feedback, just say thank you and work on it monomaniacally. You know, for Ridima Wali Show, I got a lot of feedback from people about how should I sit, how should I talk, how should I be the structure of my question, and actually that really helped me greatly. So what's your view on this question?
Yeah, I feel, because see, ultimately you're not working for yourself. Like for instance, the books that I write, okay, I'm not writing for me. I'm writing also for the reader's growth, for the reader's entertainment or education, and therefore it's very important to take feedback from the people I'm doing it for, and to value the feedback and do it before you go live with it. I mean, I would get feedback for the book before I publish it. So I think that judgment is very, very important, and also you need to have great judgment on how you dissect it. You can't take everything, you know. You have
that filter is very important.
Yes, you have to decide for yourself what you want, what is good for you, and what is somebody's opinion which doesn't really matter for your job.
All right. I think that's a good point. And viewers, we are continually taking your questions, feedback, observations. Please keep posting, like it, share it, and subscribe to the Ridima Wali Show. And moving on, Priya, so there are two types of people in this world. One is who are not ready to listen to this gnawing noise within them, that this is not what you're supposed to do. And the other is people who have started acting, but somehow they get discouraged or stop this journey. So for both the people, for the first kind, how should they listen to this inner voice? What are the symptoms that may surface? And for the second kind of people, people who have started on this journey, what they should do to continue the momentum going?
Interesting. I like how you divide it into two categories, very simple. I feel that, you know, everybody has it, but they're drowning themselves with distractions. You know, I mean, you ask somebody, तो आपने इस बारे में क्या सोचा? वो सोचता ही नहीं है बंदा. You know, all the time either he's on the phone, either he's doing something else. They're not thinking. You know, they are distracting, if that's a new way of living now. They don't remember what they did. Like I met somebody and she tells me, oh, I loved your book. And I said, which one? She said, I can't think which one. I mean, you just complimented me. And she went on and I loved the book and so on. Can't remember the name. And I can understand because I have written quite a few. Then she said, but I can't even remember what I ate in the morning. You know, so this whole memory loss, imagine if you can't remember what you ate in the morning, how are you going to remember your dreams? That's like far-fetched. I mean, I do that sometimes. I ask people, what's your vision? And they're like, तो अभी बनाया ही नहीं. Then what do you do? See, it's not about not knowing that or not listening to your calling. It's what are you doing? Tell me what you do all day. And generally, the total is nothing. It's just time pass. Time pass meaning अभी 4 घंटे और इधर हैं, 2 घंटे इधर हैं, और being busy, अभी ये देख लिया, अभी वो देख लिया, and so on. So just stop, just put away the phone, just don't switch on the TV, and then you will hear that voice. Sometimes it will just say, what are you doing with your life? And that trigger is enough to start the next question, but allow the next question to come. Don't go on to WhatsApp and then get lost over there. And then the people who have it, who are listening to it, but you said, what was the second question there?
Somewhere along the way, they just give up.
They give up. Correct. But see, everything takes time. You know, I mean, I don't know of any venture. I'm sure when you started, it took time to take off, right? The world is not waiting with open arms. Ridima, finally you came. We were waiting for you for years.
Oh, I wish it was like that.
In fact, they'll say, who are you? Acha, aap bolengi kyun? Kya experience hai nahi kuch? You know, so it's a hustle till you establish yourself. Like I have been a motivational speaker for 23 years. But when I started writing books, I was a new author. A motivational speaker one side, author, acha, first book. I was not treated with the grandeur of being an being a motivational speaker. I was treated with the sideline of a first time author, but to stick on and to understand it's a part of the process, you know, and this overnight success, then if you indulge in crap and negativity and stupidity, then maybe you might just have 1 million views on that one video that went viral, and second video has nothing.
So it will be like serendipity for the first one, but consistency will not be there at all.
So stick on, and to give yourself 2 years, give it time. And if you can't fit in your head that this will take time, don't venture, don't disturb yourself. You know, then just stick to the job where you have that security, but be prepared for the hustle. Go for the meeting and know that fellow will say, you're too young, क्या experience है आपके पास, क्यों आए हैं? Expect it. In fact, वो नहीं बोले ना तो उसका दोनों हाथ पकड़ के say thank you.
Yeah. You know, Priya, this puts me into a bit of nostalgia, which I will share with you. But before that, we have a question from Prashant. And his question is, how does one alienate the fear of failure? People, please keep your questions, queries coming, and addressing Prashant's query.
Well, I say be prepared to fail. You know that वो जिस चीज़ से डर लग रहा है ना उसी चीज़ को जाके देख लो. You know, so I remember there was one time, actually it's in my book so you can read it, I'm Another You. It's a spiritual walk because I had fear of darkness, I had fear of heights. Just go meet it. So let's say you feel that I will fail. Okay, today morning only I was having a meeting with my team, you know, where they have the quarterly targets. So I told them, देखो, if you fail तो ठीक है ना, life तो वैसे ही चल रही थी आपकी, है ना, तो कुछ नया नहीं हुआ. Fail means you come back to where you were.
And I think many times it's just here that what will
Correct.
happen if.
Correct.
So it's like what if scenario.
Yeah. So if you're thinking, what if I fail also with the same intensity, think, what if I make it? You know, now you fill this in also, because a lot of times people just fill in this box, fear of failure. What if I fail, then this will happen, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. Now fill that, do that, very good. Now you write this side, what if I succeed, then what will happen? And I tell you, there
How
is
will life change?
people वो तो देखते ही नहीं, what if I succeed? And if you fail, ठीक है, what will you lose? जान तो नहीं जाएगी. You know, when I started my career as a motivational speaker, I failed. I mean, I bombed. I didn't have money to pay my bills. I started to sell my furniture. I used to go and eat bhajia pav and have chai at that Junka Bhakar stall. You know, तो वो एक डर निकल गया. कि time तो निकल गया. After 2 years, I'm still alive. In fact, I was thinner then. You know, which was nicer.
The bhajia
you know,
was really helping.
And now with everything going, I'm trying to lose weight. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that when you go and meet your fears headlong, एक बार ना fail होके देखो. बस देख लो, कुछ नहीं होता. Then in life you will never fear it. I'm not scared to fail. क्या होगा? पैसे नहीं होंगे खाने को, weight loss हो जाएगा. Yeah, and you know, I have enough friends whose houses I can eat in. I have enough people who will drop me to work and so on. कुछ नहीं होता. It's all in the head.
You know, there's one portion of your book, In the Calling, which is amazing, guys. You must read it, which says where the character, protagonist Arjun, is saying that there was such deep silence, but my voice was becoming deeper. And it really resonated with me because, you know, when I used to go on Facebook, I used to see all these anchors posting really cool pictures. कोई शाहरुख खान के साथ है, कोई इसके साथ है. I'm like, यार मैं loser हूँ, मैं क्या कर रही हूँ life में? मेरे पास कुछ भी नहीं है. But trust me, Priya, the day I, you know, decided I'm not going to post any of my events picture on Facebook and see that work will come. Eventually, that month, I got to work with Gautam Singhania, Farhan Akhtar, and I really thought to myself that Facebook is not the barometer of my success. So I think that barrier I really held loose of, and it worked wonders for me. And the other thing was getting rejected. So you know, last year I think I got a call from Star Sports that they want to audition me for. Yeah, exactly. Congratulations. Listen to this. So I was, you know, in my head I had already become like a celebrated sports anchor with Dhoni, Virat Kohli, and in my head I had reached there. Okay, I go for my my audition and I mess it up so badly that I almost had tears in my eyes. And then I picked up, and last year again gave audition. But you know, that audition was to prove to myself that you know what, I can be a sports anchor.
Yeah.
But I again messed it up, and I realized that I had prepared everything. I had the research with me, and that's when, you know, this friend of mine said, "Is your heart in it? How often do you watch sports?" I said, "Zilch." He said, "Then you can't become Mayanti Langar if you don't watch sports and go there for the money and the fame." And that's when that question started rising, that what do I need? And that's how the Ridima Wali Show was born. So I
How
think,
cool.
yeah, so I'm not a Star Sports anchor, but you're welcome on the Ridima Wali Show.
No, but that's amazing. I mean, there are people who do that. Even in my industry, you know, they'll be posting pictures with these biggies and celebrities.
Yeah.
But you know, the likes that are coming are not for you. They're coming for Shahrukh. They're coming for so and so.
Yeah.
So while I say, oh, I got 50,000 likes, hey, boss, just post your single picture and let's see kitna aata hai. In fact, I would say what you're doing is right. Build yourself to the point where people should come and say, I clicked a picture with Ridima.
Oh my
You know,
God.
that I
Thank
think is a greater journey. That's a most satisfying journey. So you're on the right path.
Thank you, Priya. And we'll be now in the last segment, the surprise segment. But before that,
Do I get a gift?
I'll give you your book, Priya.
Yeah, that-
book read by me. I have one more copy.
Oh, thank you.
It's written by me. It's read by me, so it has my blessings.
Yes.
But before that, if you have any queries, any questions, even after the show, please post them online so that we can get some hints from Priya, as she's helping people all over the world to live a more meaningful life. So Priya, this is the rapid fire round.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask you many
Oh, it's like the
controversial
Karan
questions.
Johar segment, is it?
I'll say the questions are different, but
Okay.
yeah, the same fun.
Okay, but there's no basket.
There's a
It's
square,
not-
it's a rectangular shape.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. So, I'm just going to ask you 3 to 4 questions.
Okay.
Okay. Are you nervous? Because you should be.
I should be?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm very nervous.
I'll speak with the deep baritone now. All right.
Um,
3 of your most embarrassing moments.
oops, how much time do you have? 3 of my...
Quickly, top of the mind recall.
Well, there was one time when I took a flight and my bag didn't show up and I had to go and talk at the workshop. So I was wearing my track pants and running shoes and a t-shirt, and that's how I spoke, because the bags did not show up. So it was like, oh my God, I was mortified. You know, so now I power dress even for flights, just in case my bags don't show up. I'm ready to go and speak at any convention.
The second thing.
The second thing is when I was, you know, I travel so much at the airport, you get bored. So I just mess around with the cops, you know, like we'll change boarding passes, or I'll just say, "Mera boarding pass kho gaya," because you're so bored and you just want some entertainment. And
I hope the airport authority are watching this.
I think they know this, you know. So they see me, and then my team will like, please don't swap your boarding card and let's just get into the flight with no. So there was one time, you know, this really caught me, and I really could not find my boarding pass. So that was really embarrassing, and then I had to tell them I was playing a joke, and now it's gone too far.
Lovely.
A third one is I was at a conference and I had to introduce the CEO as a next speaker, and I had the cue card and it was in my pocket. I swear to God, it was in my pocket.
You kept
and
the
I
cue card
lost
in your
it
pocket?
in the back pocket.
Okay.
A small one, just the name, because he was a Japanese fellow and his name was on
So
it.
you put him where you could give him warmth. Back pocket.
Oops, not like that. But then I don't know where the card went, and then I had to say, now I will introduce Mr. and now I don't know his name. You know, so that was like, I wish I would die at that moment. That was the point of death I would choose. So these were the 3.
2 of the funniest ways people have proposed to you.
Funnest. Oh, I was on a talk show in Turkey, okay, in Istanbul, and I was on a live show, and they were taking questions, like we're
Don't
taking
worry,
questions.
I will not propose to you.
No, no,
on the
no.
live.
So then it came, and you know, the questions were coming live on TV, like how the Sensex report comes, no?
Yeah.
So the questions were coming, and one guy writes, "Will you marry me? Please reply ASAP." We're live on TV. I don't know you. He doesn't write his name. I don't
He's
know
not written
how
your
much
name
money
also.
you're making. I don't know who you are, and reply ASAP. So that was really, really funny.
And the second funny proposal.
They don't propose so much to me.
Okay, so it's not funny, but they have proposed to you. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, sadly, that's a sad part, you know. So that's all I remember. But well, if there were proposals coming in, I wouldn't be single, no. So don't disturb that pond.
Yeah. I think singlehood has its own peace.
Yeah. It has peace. It has, I think, the life's best experiences.
I agree. The third question is, what are the 2 lamest things you have done in your teenage to tell a boy that you like him?
Geez, lamest things. I
Two
don't
most
think-
meaningful or profound things in your language.
To tell a guy I like him, I never got that opportunity. Yeah. See, I'm like, since imagine I started working at 13. So when you start working and you have such a barrage of students, you're really not looking at the guys. In fact, you're thinking potential. तुम्हारा भाई है छोटा है उसको भेजो tuition के लिए. So everyone was a potential client, you know. And as see, a teacher is a role of leadership.
Yeah.
You know, everything that I've done is a role of leadership,
Yeah.
and therefore this becomes kind of not a very exciting example. So I've never
So
done
you were
that.
very mindful about the
If I
repetition.
had all that going, no, I wouldn't have reached where I would
You
be.
have.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I
then
wish I had someone back then. I think this question is seeming incomplete. They've written, what do you recommend?
what do you recommend?
Well,
Is it about the guy or is it a book?
So I think what you recommend would be in terms of in your journey of inner calling, finding inner calling, what are the 3 things you need to do every day to move
Oh, I like
closer
how
to-
she reads the person Prashant's mind. Trust a woman to
He's
do
a
that.
dear friend.
Complete your answers and complete your questions
Yeah.
also. Yeah. So.
but I'm still wondering why has he kept it incomplete, because he has WhatsApped me. So
Acha.
yeah.
Acha,
So what
acha.
do you
Oh,
recommend?
so you know. Okay, okay. All right. She didn't read your mind. So what are the what would you recommend for somebody to find their inner calling?
On a continuous basis.
Well, spend time with yourself. And what I mean is no distraction, not with Netflix, just alone. Go for a walk without your phone. Music is fine, because my greatest ideas come when I'm by myself, you know, listening to music or just being, staring out into the sky, because it keeps you connected with you. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
if your
does.
family is saying, spend time with me, then have you spent time with you? You know, so that is one. And second is, don't compromise on what you believe in. Just because somebody else is saying, hey, this journey that you're taking, कुछ पैसा नहीं है इसमें, ना
Yeah.
हो, वो तो वैसे भी रह जाएगा. You know, so don't evaluate your aspirations and dreams by a monetary benchmark. Think, who will you become? Will you become a better person? Will you add more value? I think stick to that, because there are enough people telling you that is not the right way.
Yeah.
And third is be patient.
Yeah.
While things are not happening, you keep making things happen.
Things will happen eventually.
You keep making it happen. Don't wait for whether the results are coming or not, whether my film is going for a festival or not, and so on. You go and you keep doing the hustle. People should see you working. Yeah, so
I think that's very important.
yeah, so that's what I would recommend, whatever the
Priya, we're just approaching towards the closure of the show. Any message you have for our viewers on this theme?
Believe in yourself. Don't listen to others. Consider what other people are saying, but bring it into alignment with what you really want, with what you really are aiming for. Use their opinions in alignment, not as a distraction. उसने ये बोला तो ये कर लो, उसने बोला तो वो कर लो. Yeah, collect all of that and make your own purpose and your own journey richer. Yeah, and that I think is the only way to a great life, one that you will tell everybody, come. I mean, they should think, I should live your life. Yeah, so पैसे छोड़ दो, वो तो आएंगे जाएंगे. बहुत आएंगे तो कोई लेके भी जाएगा. Yeah, so
I like that perspective. Priya, and I'm saying this from the heart, I thoroughly enjoyed hosting you for this show.
Me too.
I think your humility is really rooted in the fact that you responded very quickly on the Facebook request.
Oh, why not? Look at you. I mean, you're so enterprising, so
Thank you so
young.
much.
You know, I'm rooting for you, yeah?
Please.
I love the initiative.
Thank you. And I think I had fun, and it was super meaningful meeting you and catching up with you.
Oh,
really.
thank
And I want
you.
to hug you on this.
Oh, thank you.
We have
Thank
mics,
you
so we
very
can't.
much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you, viewers, for joining in. If in case you have still any questions, queries, observations that you want to share with us, please post them on the Facebook comment section and keep the love pouring. We had with us on the episode 3 of the Ridima Wali Show the very dynamic and enterprising Priya Kumar. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
I'll be again in my constipated zone.